tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show you a world without rules and controls.
So what you need to realize, is that a lot of people knew. I mean, Trump even told us ahead of time. How do you know? Because he knew what was going on. Yeah. So a lot of people did stuff during the election, weeks leading up to the election, where they recorded everything. We have hard evidence before, during, and after the election, catching them in the act, adding voters, adding votes, leaving votes. We got them. That's right. There's no way out of this. We have the hard evidence. So what's sort of fun is watching them scramble.
It's called the swamp. And you know what happened? And you know what I did? A big favor. I caught the swamp. I caught them all. Let's see what happens. Nobody else could have done that but me. I caught all of this corruption that was going on, and nobody else could have done it.
We're at a point now where more people don't trust the mainstream information coming in more than ever. And it's gotten to the point, it's snowballing, where there's an army.
In 1945, Operation Paperclip began. This was a United States intelligence program where over 1,650 German scientists, engineers and technicians from the National Socialist Germany came to America for covert scientific employment reasons.
1930s, there was a law passed that the United States government shall not participate in any type of misinformation propaganda campaigns directed at its citizens. And in 2012, the Obama administration and the freaking Congress that sat then repealed it. It is legal for the agency, the sister agency, the FBI, and the rest of them to put out intentionally misinformation, propaganda to American citizens now.
They know Barack Obama drops more hints. It's becoming abundantly clear now that the Democrats are signaling that something is coming. Yesterday, former President Barack Obama gave
fight for what we believe in. There are going to be times, potentially, when one side tries to stack the deck and lock in a permanent grip on power, either by actively suppressing votes or politicizing the armed forces or using the judiciary, the criminal justice system to go after opponents. And in those circumstances, pluralism does not call for us to just stand back and say, well, I'm not sure that's okay. In those circumstances, a line has been crossed, and we have to stand firm and speak out and organize and mobilize as forcefully as we can. But even in those circumstances, it's important to look for allies in unlikely places. And too often we assume that people on the other side have monolithic views, when in reality some of them may share our beliefs in sticking to the rules, observing norms. And that's why, when it's appropriate, there is nothing wrong with reinforcing and lifting up elected officials or voters, your neighbors, your friends, who you may not disagree with anything, but they do agree with you on that, because they may be able to exert influence on people they've got relationships with within the other party. So, none of this will be easy.
Talk about depopulation, and what are your thoughts on that as well, Reza? Because, I mean, that's been floating around. Some folks say it's rumor, some folks say it's fact.
Ooh, okay.
What's your argument on that?
Well, I'll say this. See, this is the beauty when we deal with actual facts. I'll go straight to United States government policy. You have what's called the National Security Study Memorandum 200, also known as NSSM 200, which was authorized, written under Dr. Henry Kissinger, who was the 32nd Secretary of State under President Richard Nixon and Gerald Ford. Pardon me, documentation. Now, this is all we go straight to what the U.S. government has stated. He stated, quote, depopulation should be the highest priority of U.S. foreign policy towards the third world, end quote. They literally stated in this documentation that we need to get rid of 2 to 3 billion people on planet Earth. Outside of that, you have something called Global 2000, which was also authorized under Jimmy Carter, outlining how food can be used as a weapon. Outside of that, you had someone by the name of Zbigniew Brzezinski, who was a former advisor to President Jimmy Carter, who stated, quote, "In earlier times, it was easier to control 1 million people than to physically kill 1 million people." He said, but now it is infinitely easier to kill 1 million people than it is to control, end quote. So what you're dealing with is the food, the air, the water, reproductive services, Planned Parenthood, and all these different arenas are being used to go towards an effort of getting rid of human beings, black, white, and all in between, by the billions, by a government-sponsored, pharmaceutically sponsored conspiracy. Now, a conspiracy is when 2 or more groups, people, or organizations come together to do something that is evil and or wicked. Conspiracy is a real thing. Conspiracy theory is when you're not sure of what is happening. That's a theory. We're dealing with conspiracy fact. Conspiracy documentation, conspiracy organized calculated schemes that are being conducted by people on high. And guess what? Again, they're coming after black and white folks. But at this point, they are looking at the reality that people are waking up too fast. They didn't expect us to wake up too fast, hence social media being a problem, a gift and a curse. You see what I'm saying? So now that we're waking up so quickly, they didn't expect the masses of humanity to rise up, wake up, become aware of what this government's agenda is. And because of that, now they're trying to figure out exactly how to get rid of people. They said waking up, they're coming against us. Their government, black folks waking up, they're coming against us. So now at this point, they're like, well, just get rid of them all.